Okay, so we're going to look at breakout groups now. And in my slide, I just have a slideshow up, and I added groups, and I pre-made names in the groups. And so, if you wanted to have the same people in each group all the time, then you would have to do it like this, where you'd have a slide where you'd say, Matt, you go into group 2 or group 1, obviously there. Another student, you go into group 2. Larry student, you go into group 3, and so on. So they would see this on the slide before we get to the breakout groups. You can make the breakout groups before class starts without assigning anyone to it. All you have to do is just have this slide if you're going to have the same people in groups every week, so you know, kind of keep tracking of stuff. So, and you'll see I added a few students in here as well into the class, so I can actually do some of this stuff. So over to share content for breakout groups. We went through all those other things. Breakout groups is in here, and you'll see it has custom assignment, and if I really wanted to, I could randomly assign, which is like, I only have a few students, so I can't do any more than 2, but it would, if you had 20, it would give you a lot more numbers of groups you can make. But we're going to do custom here. Focus on custom. We want to make sure this box is checked. Allow attendees to switch groups. And then we have the groups here. And by default, it just starts with 2 groups. And it gives us these darn plus signs everywhere instead of just at the bottom. Do not use these plus signs here. Always use the bottom one, because if I do this, group 3, group 1, group 2, that's how it'll show in the list. Which for me, I can't even comprehend. Like I wouldn't be able to focus with the numbers out of order. So I suggest just you look down and you'll see create a new group. So we're going to create a new group. There's number 3. Go scroll down to get to the bottom one again. There's 4. Create a new group. There should be 5 groups. That's usually 5 or 6 is usually a good number. And I'm going to hit start. Once I have those set up, one more time, I'm checking up here for that checkbox. And when I hit start, the breakout group should form, and they form underneath the class list in this column. So you can see 5 groups here. Like if this was a long list, you'd have to scroll way down to see them all. But there they are. And let's just add some students to the, like, so let's just put the student 1 in group 1, student 2 in group 2 and 3. And you'll see I did have these other students here, and they can see what they're looking at. So this is student 1. He's just going to go to group 1. And this is all they see right now. I'll send the second student into group 1 as well, just so we have 2 students in the same group. Again, green arrow joins the group. And there's student 2 and student 1. And you'll see there's no green arrow by this group anymore, but now the main room has a green arrow. So if they wanted to return to the main room, they could just return to the main room with the green arrow at the top of the list. And as this instructor, you would be able to join any of the groups by just sort of almost like walking table to table with the green arrows. I'll put the student 3 in group 3. Okay, so, and then if I just minimize this and I'm looking at the instructor view, this is the instructor view, I'll see they went in. They were able to get in because in this menu we had that checkbox checked. And at the same time, I can actually still say stuff to them from the everyone chat. So I can say maybe 5 minutes left. And send that out. And that just shows up on one of their screens here. they see a small thing saying 5 minutes left, and they're like, okay, and they wrap up what they're doing, and they know they have 5 minutes. Lastly, there is this option for pause and end. So if I pause the groups, it drags everyone back to the main room. So now they're back in the main room, and we can talk about what they were doing. Maybe in an hour you want to have them go again, so you can just hit resume, and it puts them back exactly where they were. And you can see that they're reconnecting in there. There, group 1 and group 3. And again, you could join group 1, 2, 3, and just like going from table to table with the green arrows. And to get back to the main room, you'd hit the green arrow up at the top. That's pretty much it for that part of the breakout groups. You can also share files. If you really want to, share files in breakouts. So if I go here, now that I have breakout groups running, let me just stop sharing this file. And if I look here on this file options, there is an option for sharing with the groups. So I can just share it with, like if I had a file for each group, I would just share like this one particular one with group 1. But let's just share with all groups and share now. So I'm sharing this with every group, and if I look at that as from the student point of view in group 1, they see the slideshow and they can look through it. Normally in this you would probably have, you know, it's just one slide with some questions on it or something, and they can probably fill it in and do whatever. And that's how you can share with some of those groups as well. So just knowing how to navigate back and forth between those. I'm going to bring everybody back again. Pause. It's going to bring everyone back. And I want to share. I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to share a screen instead. Just I'll share one of my screens. So I'm going to go here to share content, share screen, and I'll do my entire screen, and I'll do this screen. So I clicked here. Let me just go through that again. I went to share content, share screen, entire screen in these tabs at the top. And then I had to pick what, I have 3 screens, so I pick my 3rd screen. That's the one I want to show. You can see a thumbnail of what's on each of the other screens. So I want to share screen 3. Now it comes up, and here's my screen 3. This is just my desktop. If I put my mouse over there, you can see that my mouse is now on that screen, and I can actually do stuff there. So, aside from being able to do that, now I want to view the class while I'm showing this. And it could be with a PDF or a PowerPoint slide in here as well. But it might be on the same thing for a while. You can see down below there's a thumbnail of student number 2. And that could be a webcam or just the avatar. So you can see how if I hover over it, it has it's kind of a thing that says bump it up. So if I do that, there's my student list, or my like all the webcams. If there was 24 of them, it would have 24 on like a card tile. And then there's my slideshow down there. So I can just flip between the slideshows. Let me just end that. It has another option there, but there's the slideshow. Bring up the camera, and you can just flip between them. And then sometimes it does this little picture-in-picture, which it's kind of annoying. I don't like that. So you just have to do that, and then you can put it back up there like that. So you can just flip back and forth, and then you have this little grid here to tell you your view. So that's a gallery view. So if there was 24 students, they'd all show up here in that little credit card form. Or if you want the speaker view or tile view, whichever way you want to show. So it can do all the same things Zoom and Teams does with the gallery view and stuff. And you have your show. And me showing this doesn't mean that it only does it for me. Each student can do their own view. So if they are finished with looking at this, but they do want to see that personal thing where they want to see the person talking, they can just flip to this and they can actually view that instead. And again, then this is just showing my computer screen. So you could have a PowerPoint up or just other stuff like other websites and stuff up and going through that stuff as well for your class. But if you're on something for a long time, you can just flip to that and you can show this instead. And then to stop sharing, I can just do that. And again, I can just resume those breakouts anytime I want. So you can set these up at the beginning of the class and then just hit resume or like start and then tell them where to go, and then they can just join themselves. And then the second time you can just do the pause and resume. It's nice to give them a warning with the everyone chat though. So like if you were somewhere else, make sure you're on everyone and just tell them coming back or something like that. Give them a warning. And then that'll go to them and everyone will see that they're going to be coming back, and then you hit the pause and then you hit resume to go back in. I hope that helps. It's a little longer than I thought, but I added a couple more extra things to it, like sharing and stuff. So hopefully that helps.